and welcome to Smash Writing. I hope he's going to have to put that little fling in the video now.
I am your co-host, Paul, and this is the other host,
The mysterious one.
Justin.
I didn't say that.
Justin.
You have no proof that I said that. Don't put words in the viewer's mouths.
Justin. And today, we're obviously reviewing a very serious
topic. Serious werewolf matters going on in Werewolf Within. In Beaver Falls, there's a werewolf.
This was off.
There can only be one person.
Well, first, let's start. We are reviewing Werewolf Within. You showed me something off camera, and this is why reviewing films are not as easy as people think.
No, it is easy. Some people just don't see the point.
Well, and that makes it hard sometimes.
Well, no, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Especially
that is
when they're
wrong. But, so yeah, today we're reviewing Werewolf Within. Now, you literally, like, when you came up with this, you told me about this movie. The first thing I thought, this definitely does sound like a Justin
Yeah, right?
film.
It's a Justin film.
Like, anytime Justin comes to me and goes, we gotta review this film, it just has his name written on. Like, he doesn't go out of his realm. You just know when he sends you a movie, it's a Justin's movie.
No, blood, guts, humor, my kind of jazz.
B-movie level type of jokes.
Right, B-movie level.
Every Sunday.
Not every Sunday. Sometimes, yeah.
We get busy.
No, it's not busy. It's just some B-movies are actually as terrible as they sound. Not worth talking about. But we're talking about a good one today, if Paul would stay on topic. Stop plugging. Be human.
Would this be considered a B-movie?
Oh yes, IFC films. I'd have to look. I don't know if it made it to theater.
No, I don't.
I think
it was a limited release. I did see that.
See, I have a weird definition on B-movie too.
Okay.
If it didn't go to theater, I kind of consider it a B-movie. But some B-movies do sneak into the theater though.
I don't know. You might have to revise that because, like, there's with so many streaming services, that would mean like every film's a B movie now.
Well, I'm not considering what HBO is doing as a B-movie.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a solo studio without a big streaming service attached to it.
So I've tried looking up like official details on like what makes a B-movie, but honestly, it's just an opinion.
Low budget.
Low budget films, but like. If I did it that way, Halloween would be a B-movie.
That is true.
And yeah, technically it is, but who's honestly counting that as a B-movie?
That's crazy. Well,
Like every Friday the 13th.
Would be yeah. Oh, we gotta like investigate these roles.
I'm not investigating anything. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
So that's true. We're having fun at it. So
back to the movie we're supposed to be reviewing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking around.
Now this movie obviously evolves
a little town of Beaver Falls where a man named Finn Wheeler is arriving to the town. He wasn't park ranger.
Okay, that's why I blanked on what his job title was.
Park ranger.
Park ranger.
He's having some problems. He's broken up from his girlfriend, and he got transferred because of an incident he had at his last job. And you can tell, like, from what he's doing and everything, that he's not the most assertive human being in the world.
He's very kind.
He's a very good guy who does not really, like, he's not aggressive at all.
No.
And he arrives at the town, and you start meeting the townsfolk, and the mail lady, Cecil, takes him around, and she's spreading the gossip on all of the people, and everyone is kind of whacked out of their gourd.
This would be a little town you would love to live in. Right, not just you. Like I would dig this.
It's so eccentric. Like this would be the time of my life. Like yeah, that's home. Maybe not the snow, but
yeah, not the snow part, but like literally the group of people that you get stuck with from.
I almost picture them like eccentric human beings.
Yeah.
And one crazy.
Every stereotype there is, they're all in this film in some sort of way.
You've got like the oil developer. He's trying to buy out the town so he can secure rights to put an oil pipe in.
Right. And then, of course, like, the town people disagree.
You have like the crazy, like half the town wants the pipe and the other half don't want the pipe.
And right there, that's like the starting friction point,
Yeah.
really, of how
split the town is and how boisterous people are getting on their stance. And then you have the one crazy hermit guy, Embers, who's fantastic.
Honestly, everybody in this film looked like they were having a good time playing the characters.
It comes out hard.
Out.
Everyone is so great at what they do here.
But now let's go on with the story. So
the next day, I take it. All the power is out, and Finn goes to investigate, and the road is out too. There's a snowstorm, avalanche came down, blocked out the road. And as he's going, all of the generators have been attacked and destroyed. And then he finds the body of
it was the previous
townhome. No, I'm trying to think of the woman. What is she running here? Like a bread and breakfast kind of deal?
Yeah.
Janine's husband,
which was the previous
mailman, but we don't know that till later.
Exactly.
Spoilers. Hopefully we'll remember to put that in the description.
I will.
He won't. Don't listen to him. He won't. Don't believe him, ever. You'll misspell spoiler, I guarantee it. And then it becomes a matter of who did it. Who's the werewolf. Like, the idea of werewolves has been playing real early. And the town begins to, like, turn on one another inside this house, boarding house. Because they all suspect Airbnb. So they all suspect one another as being the potential werewolf. And
the guy that gets his hand blown off.
His hand is eaten. He's like, "Here's my hand. Find my hand."
Now that you go back on it, there were some
jokes.
The jokes didn't catch on at first, but then when you go back to them, you're like, "That was pretty funny."
The dry humor in this
is
great. There's so many eccentric characters who are all turning on another. They had like the rich gay couple who own like big tech or something like that, and they moved here to start doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And you had like the one woman who wants her arts and craft store.
The white trash family.
The mechanic family.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're fantastic. The chachi's been eaten.
So then eventually,
the town actually begins to kill one another.
Yeah.
And it's heavily implied at the end with Finn putting the dots together that there was never a werewolf and that it was all paranoid built up by the oil company guy, Parker.
Yeah.
And Parker ends up being blown up by his own little gas pipe display.
Yep.
And Cecil and Finn go back to the bar or restaurant for so she can patch him up because he got injured. Then when he's there, he opens the door and finds everyone's missing mail and parts, and the David, the mailman before her's clip. And it only turns out that she's been doing all of this and spreading all the rumors. She's in fact the werewolf!
Surprise!
And it's like, oh, why? Like, I had a brief thought, like, toward the beginning when everyone was accusing each other. It's gonna be Cecil, isn't it? But I just got lost in all the humor and all of the craziness of just everything. Just all of the jokes land pretty damn well.
Horror comedy is starting to grow on me.
And you had, like, the big moment, like, Cecil, like, revealing herself as the werewolf. She's like, no, werewolves are real. What's not real are women who drink Sambuca and like your Yellowstone stories. And it's like, oh poor Finn, leave him alone. And I like Cecil. And it's like, oh, come on, I want to pull for you here. Don't make fun of Finn. And he had like that big fiery speech about why it's okay to be fucking nice.
Pardon. Effing.
The chemistry between Milena Vaintrub and Sam Richardson. I'm trying to really read her name on the board.
Yeah.
Milena Vaintrub.
It's a Russian name.
Whatever. You don't know if it's Russian. It could be.
No, she's from.
She's Russian. Yeah. Okay, Russian name. I was gonna say she could be from Ukraine, but okay, Russia it is.
No.
And I don't know her background. I haven't researched her. God damn.
What's your cell phone service?
Metro.
AT? No.
Not in this area.
No.
The chemistry between Milana and Sam Richardson was fantastic. I loved the back and forth between the two of them at the beginning, when she's trading gossip with them and everything. I was really pulling for them, and then like even when Cecil became like outed herself as a werewolf, I'm like, yeah, but we can still make this work. Come on.
Yeah, there was a brief moment where you're like, yeah, they'll remain friends.
It's okay.
Until Cecil decided to try to kill Finn.
Yeah, like she wasn't having it.
Like.
But I did like that turn. Like it was a good turn. I'm 50-50 on her werewolf appearance. I like the transformation into it. It's a very niche. I'm very picky when it comes to werewolves. So her style I give like a 5.
Yeah, I would say if there was one...
It looked great. It's just not my...
If there was one real weak point, it was probably what the werewolf actually looked like.
Well, I like the...
At least for me.
You see, I think the humanoid, the wolf man for her, wolf person appearance worked for her in this movie, because I think if they'd gone full werewolf, it would have looked kind of bad.
Okay.
So I think it did work in this movie. It's just not the style of werewolf that I like.
Okay.
Well, I'm used to them all. I've seen them all.
So that was the story. All the actors.
Well, the town just eating each other alive, and that was her plan all along. Was just to let the town kill themselves, and then she'd feast on the women.
And she did, obviously with revealing, she come out like she didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah,
she didn't have to hunt for him.
She planted one knife.
The best part, she goes, "I got enough food till spring."
Yeah, her plan was she was so good at being the villain, and you don't realize it because it was like she just put one thing here, said one sentence, and the town ate each other.
The two main actors here both don't really have like a long resume. They've been around, but they've been in spots. Like all jokes aside, she is the AT&T commercial lady. That's her biggest selling point. Sam Richardson, he's been making in films like pop-up cameos.
See, I don't know anything about Sam.
Well, when I watched this film, it was funny that like when you sent me this film, I was literally...
Oh, you see that? Melania's been in 65 movies. Or 65 different things.
But they're like small little tidbits.
Who cares?
But her biggest role is AT&T girl. But Sam, he's been around for, I want to say like about 10 years, but the roles have been small. But I was literally over the weekend watching We're the Millers, and he's the TSA agent. Where, he's looking at them suspiciously and like, no, they're good. I think he is a very underrated comedian actor. Like, I don't think, he might do stand-up, I'm not 100% sure, but him playing roles as a funny, serious guy where he can play both and fuse them together, I think he did a really good job.
I love the ending with him, like his speech where it's like, it's okay to be nice.
Yeah.
I'm a nice person. And then like, I thought he was like foreshadowing the hatchets, because you saw the hatchets in the background. I'm like, oh, so he'll finally hit the hatchet? No, he did not hit a hatchet.
he threw them, and the best part, he got excited when he got one on the dartboard. He's like, there you go. But meanwhile, like, they never hit the real target.
His comedic timing in this movie was perfect. Everyone was perfect.
The facial expressions. One of my favorite was Gwen.
Just Sarah Burns.
Yeah, I just don't... It was just caught me off guard because, like, some of her one-liners were just getting me hooked on,
just like the white trash character.
Yeah.
She was fantastic. I loved it when her husband he'd take knives to his hands at one point and it was like, we're going to run around and steal shit while the generator's up. And she runs him over trying to get him into the car.
This was definitely a good horror comedy.
It's up there with the likes of Shaun of the Dead for me. Shaun of the Dead. Just special.
My
It's just
resume
special.
for the horror comedy genre is growing over the last couple of years. So this one, obviously, first off, it was a bargain. The film on streaming was only what, $7?
$7.
So and it was a bargain to watch that film for that price. And, unlike some of these other ones that are making you pay, they're a little bit more outrageous. This was a great bargain to get you. Definitely worth your money.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the rent streaming.
There was no real problems I have with the film.
It had some good gore too, some good kills.
Yeah.
Some good action sequences.
A little bit of everything. Obviously, when it comes to both of us, you're more of the B movie expert. But when you send me a film that I'll generally enjoy, like I did enjoy this film.
Of course I'm going to send you a movie you're going to enjoy. I'm never wrong. Ever. Listen to me.
Anyway, but I overall enjoyed it. I understood this story. Obviously, we don't have to worry about the name.
Well,
but
if you go into this, like, you're not going to see a lot of werewolf action, because that's not the point of this movie. The point of this movie is just, like, poke fun at these kind of movies, and they really try to subvert your expectations here to where they genuinely sell you on the idea that this town is just crazy, and they're just eating each other off of a belief that there's a monster.
With no actual proof of a monster until the very freaking end of the film.
Yeah.
And that was a clever plot point to keep the idea of a werewolf haunting people rather than the physical presence of a werewolf.
Yeah.
They weren't outrunning.
And it boosts Cecil in a way to the where, like, she didn't have to become a monster to do it. And really, she didn't. She just floated a couple things into the air, and the town ran with it and killed each other.
Literally, they were all killing each other. She did not have to hunt for one.
Yeah.
She
only had to go full were for Finn.
And technically, did she even, like, if you think about it, did she even really have to do that?
No, probably not. I mean, the only reason she got caught was because Finn found the room. The cell phone went off.
Like, even then, she didn't, I mean, she could just kick his ass or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she did, but she did it in her werewolf body. Great film. You know what?
I think I want to see more. I especially want to see Milana dip into more horror, because she's really great here.
She has that. She can throw in that acting ability of being the good person, but being the bad one.
Yeah.
You don't want to cast type her, but she could have a.
I want to see her and Sam Richardson do more, because they were fantastic together.
Yeah. These two are down. Like, this video is almost just like strictly praising those two.
Yeah, but there was like
I do have to apologize. Like, I seen Sam Richardson. Like I said, the TSA agent. I just never knew his name. So when you sent me this film, and I watched it, and I'm like, hey, that's the guy's name. He is a hell of a a comedy actor, and I would love to see actually both of them in more. Maybe a lot. Get them more brand name recognition, getting them the bigger films and getting their names out there more.
Yeah.
But overall, give your final thought on this film.
This was a fantastic watch. It's a dry comedy movie right up my aisle. I loved it. I loved the horror aspects. The gore was pretty on point. It looked great. The werewolf transformation was alright. It's not the kind of werewolf style that I prefer, but she did look pretty good. The actors in this all hit the nail on the head. I loved the little rumor spreading, killing those hit town. That led to some hysterical and funny moments. All in all, watch the movie. Check it out. I'm giving it an A.
I think I'm going to give it an A as well. Keep it right around 9%. The only negative I really thought of the film, the two, and they're really minor. The pace at first was slightly slow. Like, the first half of the film was slower, but then the second half, everything picked up and it was, it kept you engaged. The werewolf, what she looked like as a werewolf, I wasn't a big fan of. And that's not a bad thing. That could have been what they were going for or what they did go for. Those two little points is probably the only reason why I'm not giving it 100%. So I'm giving it a 90. Great film, definitely for the price that you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, until next time.